we sit down with Philly's finest to talk about business, entrepreneurship, and music. And cheesesteaks.
And wine.
And today we are sitting down with John Politsky, who is a DJ turned priest turned entrepreneur.
Coming in hot. Jesus.
Who has a lot of experience in different avenues of business. And hello.
Hey, I love it. Thank you guys for having me on the show.
We're happy to have you here.
So
Great.
nice of you to travel so far.
Yeah,
Here.
6 doors down, 6
Yeah.
offices down.
So I know, starting out, you initially did the DJ business.
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
So after I graduated from high school, I really liked music, and during high school and right after, my mom and dad used to go shopping all the time, and they would go to different malls, and my sister was always the kind of academic in the family, so she never wanted to go to the mall with my parents. She was kind of a rebel. So I figured out that if I went to the mall with my parents, they would buy me something every time we went. So they started buying me like a record or a tape or a CD or whatever every time I went to the mall. So I just started collecting music, and I just started loving music, and I was super introverted. So when I graduated from high school, I thought that maybe trying to DJ would help me become extroverted, which it didn't. It kind of just made me a character who was playing an extroverted person. But so I was 18 years old. My parents bought me 2 Sony CD Walkmans, and I bought a shitty mixer from Radio Shack.
So you got all the equipment and then decided I'm going to become a DJ. But how does that become a business?
So it's interesting, and it kind of parlays into where we're at now with marketing. So what I tried to figure out was, I'm 18, 19 years old, and I'm trying to run this, however you become a DJ, right? So initially I just started working at bars, or anybody that would hire me. And I did some bar and bat mitzvahs, and I thought they were a lot of fun, because you got this hour up front with kids where you play cool, newer music, and then you went into the older stuff. But it seemed like more of a party. So I knew I wanted to do bar and bat mitzvahs, but I knew that at 18 or 19, there's no way they would hire me. So I kind of tried to hack the system, and what I did was, one summer I called all the schools in Philadelphia, public and Catholic, and I just offered to do one of their dances for free. And then if you like me, book me for the year. And it worked, and I started to get all these school dances. And the thought process was that if I could get these school dances, I could talk to these kids or kind of impress these kids when they were 8, 9, 10 years old, when you're booking your bar mitzvah. And then they would go home and say, and we gave out CDs and we did all the silly stuff just to do branding. So it was kind of like this marketing when I was younger that I didn't realize it was, to try to build up that end of the business for when I got older.
That's an interesting segue too, because you went from DJ to owning a marketing person company. So again, how do you get from point A to point B in that decision?
I don't know, that's great. So I stopped DJing probably it was 10 years ago now. And I just went and got a job in corporate. I always had an IT background. I was doing some IT work. So I went to work for a company, started out as an entry-level manager, managing a small team, became director of IT, had 100 employees reporting to me, or under, facets under me with other management. And I just didn't love, I don't want to shit on other companies, but I didn't like the way that they treated their clients at the time. They've actually improved since then. But I didn't like the way they treated their clients. I didn't like the way they treated their employees. And I kind of had that moment I think I could do this. I think I can do it on my own. So I left and said, I'm going to start an IT company. And then obviously we became a marketing company. So when I left, one of my best friends was this girl, Kristen, and she was there, and she basically was like, hey, you're leaving, I'm leaving. And I was like, well, that's really cool, but I have no money. I don't know how you think I'm going to pay you. I can't even pay myself. And she was like, I don't give a shit. We'll figure it out. I believe in whatever you're doing. So, Kristen was a web designer, and she did WordPress. She did it at the time. She was just a designer. So I just said, shit, let's just try to start selling websites and see if we could get some money to actually pay Kristen. And we did. And we started doing websites, and then someone called and said, do do you do SEO? And I said, I don't know what the fuck SEO is.
But yeah, sure.
But sure, yeah, we'll do that. So I basically learned how to do SEO, and then we brought Alicia on to do SEO. And then Alicia hated SEO and became a developer, and you guys know the rest of the story from then on, and we just became a marketing agency.
Where does priesthood fall into that?
So-
Just internally
hilarious.
waiting for my moment.
I mean, I don't know. I guess the whole time I was going to school, I had always thought that I had a calling for the priesthood, so I just kind of went with it the whole time while I was working and doing other things. And I just kept going. It was one of those things you just get into and you keep going. I was in the seminary, and when I was in the seminary, there's so much scandal with the Catholic Church, and there's so many weird things that were going on. I think you hit that age in your life where you just start to kind of question things and think more about religion and different things, and it just, like, all of a sudden, just everything crumbled. But then you're, like, all the way in, and you're like, well, what do I do? Like, I don't want to be a priest, but I might as well just keep going to school. Like, so, yeah, it just wasn't in the cards, but it's, it's a big conversation for us now.
I guess my question in terms of, because I also didn't know that you were doing IT, is so a lot of people start businesses and they're like, I have the dream of doing this. So like, what was your dream? If you thought you were going to start an IT company and it ended up as website marketing, like what was the end goal?
I think it's a beautiful part of it, because I think that's the difference between an entrepreneur and a small business owner. For me, it's not necessarily the dream of like, I'm going to own an IT company or a marketing company or a DJ company. It's the like, I want to run a company.
Yeah.
Like, I love the struggle and the climb. And I think one of the big things for us is when we look at goals and we look at different things, a lot of times when we hit those goals or we don't hit them or whatever happens, like, I don't really give a shit about that goal. It's kind of like anticlimactic. To me, it's all about the grind and the struggle and the hardships that we go through. The best moments that I have, memories of running this company since the day that we started, are not making money or great clients that we had. It's like the dumb shit where we had a problem, or we did an escape room together, and we all
Or we did with
have a great time. Yeah, or this, or like even on like our Christmas parties, or like last year or whatever, that's almost 2 years now. We did the 5-year anniversary thing where we all went to a bed and breakfast and stuff. And those are the things I remember more than anything about the actual work. So I'm eating a non-cheese version.
He's eating the driest steak in the world.
I have a dairy allergy, which is so dumb.
And we are eating
Sunny's today.
which I don't know anything about Sunny's, so I would
I've never heard of it or been.
Sunny's is like my, like I used to love Jim's, and now it's my, like you're talking about the style, it's the style of Jim's, which is the chopped up. So it's my favorite of that style.
This good shit.
This is really,
This
We're
is
good.
pretty good shit.
only good cheese. 'Cause they did the
Oh my
cheese
god,
right.
yeah. The
They
cheese
do the
is
cheese
great.
right, yeah, they really do.
Oh man.
Side note, their cheese fries are amazing,
Mm.
which I should have told you, should have got cheese fries.
I wish I wanted fries all day, but should have gotten here some fries.
Should have gotten cheese fries, Alicia.
What did we have last week? We
It's
had
a solid.
Joe's.
Yeah, Joe's.
Joe like the-
Joe's
I'm gonna
is
say this.
alright. Well, Joe's is still my favorite. Like I'm hungover and or drunk cheesesteak.
That makes sense. Joe's
This is a
a
good like I'm
drunk
going to a
cheesesteak.
family barbecue. I'm gonna bring some steaks. I'm bringing this.
Family barbecue.
You don't eat cheesesteaks at family barbecues?
No.
I mean, generally we barbecue at family barbecues.
Who has ever gone to a barbecue and eaten barbecue? Usually it's hot dogs and hamburgers.
Well, yeah, I mean, like we live in
But
Philly,
I
we're
mean, like
not.
I've had like barbecue chicken.
We don't live in Texas. Yeah. Nobody's making us brisket.
No. I wish. I want to get a smoker. Smoke some meats.
Yep.
I love me a smoked meat.
Now that you're gonna have a sick backyard, you have to get a smoker.
Yeah.
Sorry. Knock on wood.
So while we're shoving these cheesesteaks into our face, brought to you by Sunny's.
Yeah.
Very good.
So obviously with being an entrepreneur, which is the hardest word in the world for me to
It
say,
really is.
And spell.
there's like a lot of shit that you have to give up. Like it's not like just, oh, I'm gonna start a business and everything's gonna be fine. So
No.
like, talk to me about like the emotional and physical and all that fun stuff that goes into it.
It's a roller coaster, man. It's not for the faint of heart. And I think sometimes when I talk to people and they're like, I'm gonna start a company, I'm always like, why? You really have to have your heart and soul in it. If you don't, you should be the number 2 or number 3 at a company. There's nothing wrong with that. You can make a lot of money, make more money than you will probably as an entrepreneur most of the time. But the thing you don't realize when you start a company, especially is when I was 18 starting a DJ company, I didn't give a shit if I had money or not. It wasn't a big deal. But as you get older, what you realize is you have no safety net, right? So you don't have benefits. You don't have 401k. You don't have all these different things that you would have if you had a normal job. It's just stressful. There's been times in this period. We've been lucky where, we kind of did well out of the gate and we got established pretty quickly, but there's been times, in the last couple of years where we almost didn't make payroll or we had not enough money to pay for taxes or something. It's just stressful. And then you realize my whole life I've always been pretty upbeat and more optimistic than anything else. And then all of a sudden you realize how important I think it is for entrepreneurs to talk about mental health and depression and these things, because they happen and you don't know. You're in a depressed state for a couple of years. I've been dealing with on and off with depression and going through different things, and it's and it's really hard to get out of it. It's really impactful when you're an entrepreneur because it affects your ability to do the things that you have to do as an entrepreneur, which is try to find a business. And you get to a point where it's it's really difficult to come to work and perform, and then it's really difficult to go home because it affects your home life and your work life. So you're in this weird balance of you don't know where to go, and you're kind of stuck in the mud. It's really difficult. I caution people before they become an entrepreneur. It's a lot.
And it's the whole mental health thing is very interesting as well because obviously whether you have 1 employee, 5 employees, whatever, you don't want to feel like the guy's upset today. Depending on what your work culture is, you kind of have to still be the captain of the ship, and it's so then you almost again back to masks have to either suck it up or you seem like a total asshole.
Yeah.
Who, because you're depressed, you're just outwardly mean to people, and then you create a terrible work dynamic. So it's it's gotta be exhausting. It is,
and you're exactly right? It's and so much of sales and entrepreneurship is not you don't have to be an egomaniac, but it's so confidence driven, right? So if you are really failing in that, where you're depressed in that, you lose your confidence and your self-esteem, and it's difficult to go then try to have a meeting with a prospective client where you're selling yourself basically, right? When I sell and I go out and I talk to people about our company, people generally don't buy We Speak Easy or Digital Marketing Academy or Bite Size Digital. They buy me, right? So you have to build that trust. Fish talked about it last week, right? People buy from people they know, like, and trust, and you have to build that trust.
It's time to wind down. For those who do not know, we've been given a mystery wine. So we're going to have one red and one white. We need to guess the region, the grape, and the year. I would like to also preface this by saying, last time on Fish's episode, I neglected to know that you got the year right of the final wine, so Jess and I are in fact tied.
I'm going to go Pinot Noir on this one. I'm going to go 2015.
Region?
Oregon. How does it taste coming out of your nose? Is it better?
I'm gonna go while Steph gathers herself.
Great show. We're going to win then.
I'm gonna do Zinfandel 2013
Okay.
France.
Okay. All
Can I
right.
just say France?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's close enough.
I mean,
Bordeaux. I don't know.
the Bordeaux.
I mean, if it was from Bordeaux, it would be a Bordeaux.
What
I
wine
take
did
it
you
back, just France.
What wine did you guess? Zinfandel. like 2017. Let's just throw something out there and say Spain. Why the fuck not?
Okay, what do we got?
Fuck! Alright, we got Merlot, California, which I was gonna say, but I said that last week, and I didn't want to, and then 2016. Did anybody get anything?
Nope.
0 points.
Is that John is very passionate about other entrepreneurs. In particular, he has some that are his favorites. He purchases their products, purchases the books, he's a big fan.
Sneakers.
True.
He also has
Hey.
a couple quotes written down, so I decided to pull a couple quotes, and I want you
Okay.
to guess which entrepreneur said which quote.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1. The majority of businesses, especially B2Bs, live in a world of gray. They're so afraid to have any opinion at all. Their blogs stink. They're looking to appease everyone so they don't get any traction.
All right. So I wanted to go Gary Vee out of the gate, but now I'm thinking it's Russell Brunson
Why?
because he talks a lot about hilarity in your attractive character. But I'll go Gary Vee.
It's Mark Sheridan.
Really?
Yeah. Which I thought was going to give it away because he said their blogs stink.
No, I didn't get that. I'm terrible.
That's alright. It's alright. That wasn't. He's not up on your list.
Yeah, he's not
We'll
one of the
see,
favorites.
we'll see. Okay. Number 2. People are chasing cash, not happiness. When you chase money, you're going to lose. You're just going to.
It's Gary Vee.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's so Gary Vee.
I knew I had that as number 1, and I was
Yeah.
like, he's going to know right away. So I got to throw him on this game.
That's
1
good.
point.
1 point. Okay. I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's very long. But here's the crazy ones: the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of the rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see Jesus. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
I know this. Well, too.
It's a really great quote.
It is. Oh. I don't know.
Can we take a shot in the dark?
No, my shot in the dark was the purple cow guy, but I know it's not him. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
It's
was
Russell.
Is it really?
Yeah, Russell.
That's a great one from Russell Brunson.
It's from one of his books.
It's a really good quote.
A vision without execution is just a dream.
That's a Gary Vee quote, but it's probably, that doesn't sound like a Gary Vee execution of the quote. I don't know. What was it?
It's just like that. I wanted to throw it.
Yeah.
He saw me pulling together quotes and he was like, I got one for you.
That's
I was
awesome.
Like, that's actually pretty good. Alright, and the last one. Perhaps you are experiencing the dark side of entrepreneurship as you read this. The good news is that there is hope. You can conquer the chaos of small business ownership. You can have the business you've always wanted and still have one.
Russell Brunson.
Very nice.
Ryan Dice.
Ryan Dice!
He's not a real person.
Ryan Dice could be here for all we know.
I know, Ryan Dice is a hologram, so that's fine.
Oh, Ryan Dice.
We failed so miserably on the first one. Let's transition to the white. Oh, envelope, please.
Envelope.
Envelope! Sorry. Oh, thank you so much.
Alright, so I'm gonna come in hot on this one.
Oh, I'm gonna taste it. John's so excited. I'm going.
Gotta go wrong, I'm coming in hot.
That's
This
so sweet.
has to be a Riesling, and it has to be like 2017. I will go from Iceland.
Whoa.
Exotic.
Oh.
It's gotta be, or it's gotta be like a Riesling or like a
I'm gonna
Moscato.
say Moscato.
Yeah, it's very close to those.
So I'm gonna say Moscato. Which if it's Moscato, then I'll say
2015, California.
Okay, what do we got?
Drum roll, insert drum roll here. It is Riesling. It is 2017. It is from California.
All right, we got two.
We got one.
I got one. Still tied.
Still tied.
Still tied.
All right, so John wins the episode, and Jess and I are now still tied. Your reward
We got
is
2 points.
Just said Riesling and California.
Oh, so just got
It's
2
true.
points.
How do you not remember what you
Sneaky
said?
points for Jess every week.
Because I am not making actual educated guesses. I'm just saying things.
Jess takes a 1 point lead over
I
Steph.
know, and John and
Blind
Jess tie for the
Scoreboard,
episode.
ding.
We need to get a loser's hat, so I can just wear it right now. Because I'm a loser.
This segment is called Hollywood Lookalikes.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, good.
I'm going to show you pictures of animals, and you're going to tell me like what celebrity or public figure it is.
Okay, I'm in. This
All
is
right.
great.
Animal number 1.
Okay. Oh.
This one I would have gotten.
I think this looks like the most like this
I
person.
go poop.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes! All right.
All right, next.
Oh,
Look at that dumb face.
those are some crazy eyes.
Yeah, focus on the eyes.
Is it celebrity or politician?
It's anyone
Anyone
popular.
famous.
Yeah. This is a celebrity in this case.
Those are some dumb eyes.
Yeah.
I'll go Miley Cyrus. I know. I didn't know.
Negative.
John Travolta. Oh my God. We're never going to be able to join Scientology now.
Got one
Darn.
more. Next.
Taylor Swift.
Damn.
That was a quick one.
Yeah.
But
No?
I think it looks just like.
look at those eyes.
Yeah,
I love
it. looks just like
Look
That's
at
good.
those eyes.
Yeah, that's
Adam
good.
Driver.
Alright. This one's kind of tough. Look at the hair. though.
Yeah, only focus on the hair. Don't focus on the dog's face at all.
Straight down with the hair. I don't know.
Yeah, this one was tough.
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a
But look,
tough
the hair is uncanny.
Yeah.
The hair is uncanny.
Alright, one more.
Okay. I'm ready.
This was a toughie. Well, not this one, but we'll be.
It's Kermit. Hello, Kermit.
Celeb. It's Steph's favorite.
Is it Timothy Chalamet?
No. I'll give you another guess.
How dare you say Timothy
You said
Chalamet?
Steph's favorite.
No.
That's all.
Call me by your name.
Oh. Who is it?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop That's actually perfect. Oh my God, I love it. This is great.
That's it.
Awesome.
That was it for
That's a
Hollywood
great-
lookalikes.
That's a great one.
Maybe it'll be back.
Yeah, we should definitely do that every once in a while.
Coming to an episode near you again. I love Snoop. I fucking.
Oh, that's a great one.
So, John is an avid reader.
True
He
story.
will read literally anything from what I gathered.
Yep.
So, I'm curious if you can summarize a couple different books within 10 seconds.
Okay.
Let me get the timer.
Oh boy.
Would you like to do the timer?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Ready?
Are you going to start reading and I take the time, or are we
After I say the author's name.
Okay.
The Magicians by Lev Grossman.
Biggest piece of dog shit in history. So the magicians are these. It's like a faux Harry Potter where they have sex with animals.
He did it! He did it!
Yeah.
9 seconds.
Hot
let's
garbage.
go. Wait, they really have sex with
They
animals?
do. Yeah. There's sex scenes with animals. Yeah. It's bizarre.
Okay. The Dark Tower, The Gunslinger by Stephen King.
Okay. So Gunslinger is the first in a series of the Dark Tower, which is a 7-series book by Stephen King. It's written in like the early 90s. It's about a young boy falls back in time and meets the gunslinger.
Time.
Woo! That's tough.
I know, that it's such a long book. The
Mhm.
series is long.
Yes, thousands of pages.
Okay.
Okay.
The Bible.
The Bible
My God.
starts with our old Jewish friends, lots of parables and fake stories. Then we come into the Christian part, which is all about Jesus, and then end times.
John, thank you so much for joining us today. You
It's been
traveled
my
so
pleasure.
far to
Yes.
be here.
It's
It's been
fun.
spectacular.
Lots of walking.
So, butt plug, go.
All right, so we are the Digital Marketing Academy. We specialize in educating and empowering entrepreneurs to give you all the tools you need to start up your small business and run it effectively and efficiently. You can find us at dm.academy215 on Instagram
And Facebook.
and Facebook.
And then
Not on
Twitter, because they don't acknowledge the period, is DM_Academy.
And Twitter is a hot dumpster fire, so good luck there.
Yeah.
You'll find us on TikTok.
Oh my god, I love TikTok.
Lots of
We
videos.
have Tom Segura and
and Bart.
Christina Ferretti.
Those
Love TikTok.
are great.
Oh, we should have done a stand-up segment.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna do that. I was waiting for
I'm really
Art
disappointed.
Chrysler clips.
There's so
Yeah.
much.
You know what's really disappointing is before I thought of doing something about stand-up, I was gonna do a bath bomb related segment. Okay,
I
like
love
that.
Yes, that back.
Get that? Yes, that bath bomb. Anywho,
Yep.
so thanks for watching. You can again find us on social media at dm.academy215 unless you're a Twitter user, and then you can find us at dm_academy215. Godspeed.